So I just finished The Butcher's Masquerade, and I have a few mixed feelings on it. Now, there's a lot of things that happened. Um, Honestly, almost too many things that happened because it's just so chaotic in the last few chapters. Like, this is maybe my biggest complaint about the end of the book. Let's just get my complaint out of the way before we start talking about things that I really like and questions that I have and things that are really interesting. My biggest complaint about the end of the book. My biggest complaint about the book is the end. I think it was a great. I think this was his best book, and like I don't even think that's like a. I don't think it's even close right now. I think this is by far the best book that he wrote. And I'm very happy that all of these books just keep getting longer because I think he knows what his audience kind of wants and he's trying to hone in on that and give people really good books and really entertaining books and really good storylines. And the characters are getting a lot better. So he's becoming a good writer for this. I think my biggest qualm is that the end of the book was just a battle. Like it was just too chaotic. There weren't enough things in it to me, or there wasn't like one thread that pulled the whole thing, that it was like an aha moment. I think maybe that's what I was looking for, and I think that's why my expectations for the end of the book were going to be a little less chaotic and more like, oh my gosh, Carl figured this thing out, and now everyone's going to like, pay the consequences or whatever. I think that's some of the stuff that you see. I think this is actually why, and I was thinking about it in relation to some other books, but I want to compare it to Harry Potter, and I think what Harry Potter does really well toward the end of each book is it gives kind of one thread that if you reread the book, you'll understand what's going on a lot deeper. And in this one, it just doesn't have that to the extent that I think I want it. Where like the battle that happens is just so chaotic. There's so many moving pieces. There's so many moving parts. It's like if one thing fails, they have to readjust and do things, and which is kind of realistic for this because I think this is supposed to be very chaotic and kind of helter-skelter. But the one thing that I think I just keep missing is, okay, like I want there to be something. I want it to be a bit more mystery-oriented, and I'm realizing that it's not so mystery-oriented. It's not like Carl finds this rare object in the forest, and then all of a sudden this is the thing that helps him, and like, the AI is really helping him. Although there's smidgens of that throughout it. There's almost just too much to keep track of for this one. So I think that's my only real complaint toward the end of the book. Like the stuff, like the Butcher's Masquerade, stuff that was happening at the Butcher's Masquerade, some of it as I was listening was just like, where are we? What the heck is going on? Why is this so chaotic? There was like the twister that was happening, the things that were happening outside the masquerade, things that were happening inside, things that were happening in the tunnels, the thing with Ferdinand, the thing with Samantha, the thing with Signet. Everything was just all over the place. Like I think he was trying to juggle too many plot lines at once, which is maybe what we're supposed to feel, because I think Carl is kind of feeling like that, like he's juggling too many things at once. Even when he went into that level, he was like, oh gosh, I have so much to do. And it kind of all culminated there, which again, it makes sense. But as a reader, I think it was just a bit too chaotic for me. Now, that's my complaint out of the way. I really enjoyed this book. Again, still think this is his best book. I think that plot lines he created in this, and just the intrigue that he's created for even boring parts of the plot that I thought were boring, like the Signet part to me was really boring, but he was creating intrigue behind that where I was actually interested in what was going on in that plot line. And just like other things that he would build in and like bake into this thing. The Ferdinand thing I thought was a little weird, but it was getting more interesting as it went on. Just like how Donut and Carl are fighting back, the things that are happening outside the realm, the things even with like their sponsors kind of banding together and trying to help out Donut and Prepotente. I thought the Prepotente plot line was probably my favorite of the entire novel so far, or the entire novel as I finished. That was just excellent. I'm curious how he's going to deal with other things. Like he went into the next level, and this is maybe my biggest question for the next level, because level 7 was just demolished. Like they were at level 7. All of a sudden they were talking about the rules of it, and the AI was trying to speak really fast, and then Prepotente uses it because it's a Prince Rupert's drop or whatever, which those things are like really weak at the tail. And then he just sticks it in and it destroys the level. And so they're on level 8 now. I feel like I might have missed the clarification for that, but I'm pretty positive they're on level 8. So that was really great. then the next thing in the epilogue was Katya essentially putting on the crown because Ava had the crown on, and now either her or Donut is not going to be able to go past the next level. And I think, oof. I mean, like, I think the obvious choice as a writer would be to make Katya not go. But, will it be Donut? Like, will Donut lay down her life for this? I don't think Carl would let that happen, but I don't know if Carl is going to have a say in the matter. It's going to be tough. It's going to be weird. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. I think that's a really good plot line. Like that, these are the things that I think he does a good job of creating intrigue. I think at the beginning of the novel, like when Donut puts that crown on, all of a sudden I'm thinking like, why the heck would I care about the crown? It's on the 8th level. And then especially as I realize each book is like covering one level, I'm like, okay, this is way too far off to really even have in my mind. And then now that we're on the 8th level, these things, he kind of keeps reminding you of these things, and all of a sudden you get better reminders and you get better indicators of these things, and all of a sudden I'm very interested in this now, which is obvious. That's like how, you know, you write levels and you write different things. But I think, again, there's things that weren't necessarily answered in this book that I think are obviously going to come up later, like the Lucia Marr thing. I think that's going to come up later. She seemed really interesting, really strange, like a child kind of trapped into this adult body, I guess. She's hearing a bunch of voices. Same thing with like even the Eva and the Katya storyline. I thought that was really good. I guess some of the questions that I have going into this level, I don't know really what happened with the 7th level, if it was a level destruction and they're really down in the 8th level. I haven't really started listening to the next book yet. Or if they're on the 7th level, but it's going to be like a shadow of the 7th level, or like, you know, everything's going to be demolished and they're just going to have to wait and like hang out. I don't think that's going to be it. So that's the stuff I'm maybe a little curious of, and I don't really know what's going on. But yeah, it's pretty much all I had. I didn't really have that many notes for this. I thought it was really an entertaining last little bit of the book, but it was just a bit all over the place for me, and I couldn't kind of keep track of things. And even like some questions that I have that were getting answered, like in the next book, I'm like, I don't even know what to think of what's going to happen in the next one. I think Prepotente is going to keep going off and you know, keep fighting for Miriam. I love that. I don't know what's going to happen with Donut. I don't know what's going to happen with Carl. Carl doesn't seem like he has that much of a plan for this next level. So, I mean, that's like Carl's strength, though. Not having a plan, then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and he just kind of falls in the middle and just adapts. I think he's best at adapting. So, those are my thoughts on this book. I really enjoyed it, but the end was a little all over the place for me. So, I'm excited to read the next one. I think that the next... the last 3 at least are the best rated on Goodreads, so I'm excited for the next one, and the one after that, and then I think we're kind of caught up, and then I'm just stuck waiting for the books to come out. How many books are there supposed to come out in this series? Are there going to be 10? It's a little telling for if there's going to be 10, then Carl makes it to the 11th level. He should like keep that under lock and key. But how many levels are there, or how many books are there going to be? I'm curious. But that's all I got. So let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.